Rock Talk.
Rock Talk is brought to you by GraniteRock.com and the Coalition of New Hampshire Taxpayers. Check us out at GraniteRock.com. Check them out at CNHT.org. And don't forget to listen to us on Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio. We are also on Ustream and YouTube. And, of course, right on the front page at GraniteRock.com.
And he didn't have to read a single word of that anymore.
No,
Good job.
It took me 152 shows.
and living rent-free inside the heads of way too many progressives of both parties.
So we have a couple...
Eric, how's your day going?
Eric, so yeah, we got to get to there. We got to get to Estevez for the rest of us. That's definitely on the menu.
Is he well done yet?
No.
Well, let's.
I don't think he has a clue what he's doing.
No.
I don't think he has a clue as to what we're doing.
Oh, what he stepped in.
And did I understand that his girlfriend was jilted recently?
Just to be clear, so everybody understands, this started out because this individual who was from Massachusetts and who was running for Congress for some reason,
Scott Brown with a Hispanic
in
tilt.
CD2,
Yep.
started posting these pictures with all these Estevez signs and stickers on people where they didn't exist in the original. So that's how it started. No matter what,
it was worse than that. He was claiming these people endorsed him.
Yeah, but even if he doesn't do that, without their permission, okay, he's altering these photographs and posting them as legitimate. Okay, this is a guy who's running for Congress, politician,
asking us to invest our trust in him while proving he's not trustworthy, and he wonders why we have attacked him.
And so we've adopted him.
He's our twin.
We've adopted him for the cycle, and he seems to think that it's no big deal. We are as much name recognition as he's going to get, and it's all going to be negative.
Yeah. And the Google search results are going to be horrific. So Skip posted this picture of the horse and his ass.
The Republican. What's with the Republican frauds and their horses?
Foley.
Your picture that you put together about Jim Foley.
Right, but here's the thing. Grab a seat, Tony. Here's the thing. So that picture, and then yesterday Kimberly circulated the picture of the jilted girlfriend that he had abandoned in some late stage of illness, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I would say let's leave that one alone for right now.
Right, but here's where I'm going. So having gone to said Facebook page, what I found was not merely a picture of the young lady with Mr. Estevez, but I also found a picture of the young lady with a horse.
Mary Estevez.
a horse which bore a startling resemblance, including identical markings, to the one that the horse's ass had been photographed with earlier.
Yeah, that should be part of the Estevez for the rest of us photoshopped contest that we're doing. And
should we put some stickers on the horse?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, do the before and after, and just put it in line as part number whatever, and just make sure to include all the rest of the posts in that series. And then I have to admit, the Estevez campaign decided to get cute, and it was clever. They put up where they think that I blog, and
just you though.
Just me. Well, that's okay. I'm the face of Granite Rock.
Did they actually put that picture up?
Oh, yeah, it's on their Twitter feed.
Have you put your picture up yet?
No, I'm trying to do this deliberately.
Was it liked twice and shared twice by the two people in the campaign? Or
I don't know, but we seem to get a little more mileage out of it, especially as our posts are starting to make it onto the front page of Google when you do Eric Estevez for Congress. So he doesn't
That's
get
because we've been around longer than him.
Yeah, I mean, his obviously his Twitter feed, his Facebook page, they're up top. I mean, that's the way it should be. But yeah, we're getting there. And so all of you readers out there, go to Google and put in the following phrase: Granite Grok, Eric Estevez for Congress, and when all of them come up, all those links, just start clicking on them, please, and do it a few times. We want to say hi to Eric, who thinks that we're talking about him behind his back.
Oh no.
No, not quite.
No, it's very public.
Yeah, and I liked your thing. One of the pictures that you had in our own email group about Ellis Island 2000. It's like, isn't he kind of 16 years too late at the very least? That's his program, Ellis Island 2000. His whole idea for immigration. I'm sorry, Ellis Island stopped being an immigration stop back in the 1940s. Are you that behind the times?
He's retro.
Retro. Yeah.
Retro.
Well, the other thing is
Retrovez.
Yeah, Retrovez. Well, he's also trying. And I think he's also playing the Democrat identity cards too, because if you look at his Twitter feed, he's always about the Hispanic caucuses or the Latino
we could call
caucuses.
him a racist. He's busting on our buddy Jim Lawrence left and right.
He is, and he went after. And I put this up last night, going after. Pete Silva, who I bet you he thinks is Hispanic, and is pulling the regular card, like a lot of progressives. When they see blacks that are conservatives, they call them Uncle Toms or Oreos or what have you. And what Eric Estevez had was a listing of Jim Lawrence's supporters, and over the top of Pete Silva's name was, in big letters, "Note this name."
There's so many things.
What? You think that he shouldn't have gone off the reservation, should be part of the Democrat? Oh, wait a minute, Eric, you're saying that you're a Democrat. Are you joining those rhinos that we've been going after for years that vote more Democrat than Republicans?
Yeah, he claims to be a Republican, but he's a failed Massachusetts Democrat. Let's face it.
Yeah.
As are a lot of Republicans in New Hampshire.
Yeah, but that was offensive on so many levels. It's offensive in that he thinks there's something wrong with supporting Jim Lawrence.
Yeah.
Make the policy case, please. It's offensive because he thinks he owns the Hispanic vote.
Yeah.
And by the way,
hey, he can have all 7 of those votes.
Yeah. and by the way, Pete Silva, I don't think is a generic Hispanic, and he certainly is. And he's a very interesting character. Conservative.
Yeah, I've talked to him several times. I like Pete. I like Pete a lot.
Yeah, Pete's a really good guy, which is probably the number one reason why Pete isn't supporting Estevez.
Yeah.
Because he's a really good guy.
Yeah. Now, to be honest with you, I don't know what Estevez's policies are. I haven't looked that far. I think
no point. There's no point.
There's no
we
point.
already know he's deceptive and he's lying. So why would you believe anything else he does?
That's correct, and that's our point.
And that is the point. And we need to come back to that over and over, because as this campaign goes along, people are going to forget how it started. We have to remind people, even though there may be a link to the original post that Kimberly put up, that shows the before and after pictures that have been altered by his campaign or by him. People need to remember that right out of the gate, this guy was deceptive and misleading. Right out of the gate.
Trying to claim support, he didn't have photoshopping pictures without the permission of the people in them, and I think.
And I mean, whether you support Kelly A. or not, posting a picture of yourself with her, given that you're implying all these other people supported you, does not mean she supports you. You should be clear about it. This is just a picture of me with Kelly. I mean, there's thousands of people who've had their picture taken with Kelly, including Democrats. So, I mean...
Well, I thought that picture was a little weird anyways, because he's trying to paint himself as being the anti-establishment candidate.
That's a very fair point.
And how much more established can you get by putting your arm around Kelly Ayotte, probably the most establishment candidate here in New Hampshire, almost. Gene Chandler, and there's a few others that would give her a run for her money, but certainly the highest elected one. Doesn't he ever think about the cognitive dissonance of this? I mean, if you're going to say you're this thing, then be that thing. Be truthful, intellectually honest about it.
I'm Mr. Outsider. Here's a picture of me with the the ultimate insider.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically none of the stuff adds up. And like I said, we started out by pointing out fundamentals.
Now, if he was doing one of these, that'd be different.
So, unfortunately, unless
do I have to do that again?
Yeah, do
yes,
that.
If he was doing this to Kelly Ayotte in the picture, that it would have been a little different.
Mm-hmm.
But, I look at this.
It started out with him being deceptive, and now to us it's just fun. So we're living rent-free inside his head because...
And this really is, Eric, we're not investing any effort in this. This is just hobby stuff, It's just, look, I'm a little bored. I think I'll just do this.
It's a little bit of work for me to unphotoshop Skip's shack, but Well, you'll see the pictures later, folks.
See, what he doesn't understand, and he probably hasn't even has no idea that this exists. Saul Alinsky's rules for radicals works for the left. It also works for the right. And I did put up in our email group, our private email group, article number 6. Do the tactics that your people like doing. Have fun at it. And Eric, trust me, we love doing this kind of stuff.
It's fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Skip and Steve have been at this for a long time. We got Mac and Evelli.
But yeah, I mean, we are turning our attention as Steve. You did the economic policies of Chris Sununu as well. After I had done it, we're going to go after Ted Gatsas. We're going to go after Jeannie Forrester because in each and every one of these cases,
they all have issues. And
they do. Jeannie Fastgun, is that the issue?
No, well, Jeannie Fastgun, that's one thing that she likes to tout, and she is good on Second Amendment. I have to admit that. But you know,
Susan
she's
would
rather
disagree with you.
But well, true, but better than some of the others. But the real issue here is that she's trying to slide out from her Medicaid expansion program. Well, I didn't vote for it this time. No, you voted for it this last time. And, of course, the establishment people like Jeb Bradley, like Chuck Morse, the heads of state in the Republican Party in the New Hampshire Senate said, well, we had to pass it. I mean, this is what I got to my face from Jeb Bradley. We had to pass it because one of our other members was going to vote the full Democrat way. Nancy Stiles, correct. And I'm sorry. Don't tell me that, and then have the New Hampshire Senate Republican Majority PAC, a.k.a. the Republican Incumbent Protection and Racketeering PAC, give her tens of thousands of dollars to get reelected. If you were so scared of her and didn't want her that you're just doing this and making her the scapegoat, why are you giving her all this money? And guess who was the treasurer? Cutting the checks for Nancy Stiles' campaign, Jeannie Forrester.
And you'll notice, now that they've extended it again, all the rats are jumping from the ship.
Oh, yeah.
We have Senate defections. There are, how many Republicans aren't running for re-election in the state
Over
Senate?
half.
Over half. So they've our job here is done. We've ruined the state. We're going to bow out now and let somebody else try to clean up this mess.
Are they going to move to their summer homes in Florida or their winter homes in
Florida? At some point, they may have to.
And see if they can take that state down, too?
Yeah, they.
Because remember, folks, I put up the fiscal note on the legislation of that, and we are going to be in the hole, New Hampshire taxpayers, big time. And they lied to us when they said no taxpayer burden. Well, it's a combination of the free federal money. And again, Steve, you keep pointing it out. I do too as well. Every good conservative should be saying this in New Hampshire. I'm sorry. I'm a federal taxpayer too. And you're taking more money out of my pocket to do what you think is the right thing because you don't think that I can spend my own money well enough. That's all it comes down to.
Most of you are deducting your state property taxes from your federal income taxes to reduce your federal burden. But you're still paying it. I mean, there's still taxes there. You bought this, you know. And, you know, the other point that people need to begin to accept is that it's not just that they voted for expanded Medicaid, and it's not just that they voted to extend expanded Medicaid. It's that extending expanded Medicaid serves a purpose, and the purpose is to get to single payer.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only reason it exists. Obamacare is an epic failure. It could never support its own weight. We just found out that the executive branch spent $4 or $5 billion propping up insurance companies and hiding it from people, money they never appropriated from Congress, to keep it from collapsing in 2014 or 2013 because it was already a complete failure from the go. There was no money. Anybody with a brain who was under the age of 50 was like, I'm getting screwed. I'll just pay the tax and the fine, and I won't even bother with the freaking insurance.
After you skip.
Yeah, you notice that the premiums for a silver plan under Obamacare have now soared to where it's like $1,200 a month just for the premium, and the deductible is over $11,000. That's not affordable. Now, more than half of all of the Obamacare co-ops, which was started up with over $7 billion of money, have now failed. Now what are you hearing from the Democrats? Oh, we need to have a public option to compete against the private plans because we don't have enough private plans in Obamacare. Steve, you're absolutely right. That's the slippery slope. Most of us said right from the get-go. And they admitted it. They would have done the single-payer system right from the get-go. But now you're hearing the public option. Well, that's the interim step between finally killing off the private insurance companies and getting to government-paid NHS British style, which sucks.
No, it won't. They won't get there. They won't get there because the British style is actually relatively simple. The British healthcare plan was 47 letter-sized pages when it was enacted in the late 40s. 47, folks.
Yeah, how many is it now, though?
There's no doubt there's regs all over the place. It didn't stay that simple. But my point is that Obamacare started out with more than 2,000 pages, plus the tens of thousands of the Secretary shall and the Secretary may regulate. It's enormous, and it's only going to get worse. And do you think if we say to them, go ahead, guys, you've beaten us into a pulp, have a public single-payer plan, do you think they'd do it in 50 pages? Do you think they could do it in less than 5,000?
No.
Of course not.
And let's make no mistake, when Britain did that, it was the Fabian socialist proudly saying the government must be in charge because the ordinary person can't handle this.
Right.
And can't handle the cost. And we're going to go to break because it's the top of the hour. And when we come back, we will probably continue with this. But there's plenty of other things on the table for us to talk about.
And we have a guest.
And we have a guest. Tony's here.
Who can tell us a little bit more about how the NHS is really working?
Yeah, I'm sure you could. Personal experience, nothing like it. All right, everybody hang in there. This is Grok Talk. I am Steve McDonald here with Mike Rogers and Skip Murphy. And Tony's here again. Yay! We'll be right back.
Excellent.